I am Coach K, and this is going to be a series of clips coming together to basically show you how I'm going to go from start to finish. Go out there and get my certified Salesforce partner. Here's how I'm gonna do it. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Coach K, helping companies build and manage sales teams. Salesforce has been giving me a little bit of hassle lately because I don't have the official certifications, even though I'm building Salesforce. Organizations like no tomorrow. So I'm going to make a video collection. I'll make it as brief and to the point as possible to my process of going and getting not just the Salesforce admin cert, but I'm going to go ahead and get myself certified partner. So I get an awesome account manager as well as a little something, something, thank you, piece of the pie, and get the insides. Let's get on with the show because I'm planning to do this in a couple of days. I am going to preface this video just to let you know I'm not entry level. If you're entry level, this video is going to seem a little too good to be true. Yeah, I've been in the Salesforce ecosystem for quite a while. I built multiple orgs, both on starter accounts, enterprise accounts. I have really pushed it in terms of my knowledge and ability. This is like a refresher for me, just understanding, okay, what's the theoretical nonsense you guys want me to know? Test me, boom, boom, done, finished. I'm expecting it to be fairly straightforward. I'm on the GetForce certified page. Mr. Dave Massey, good friend of mine, certified partner. Effectively, he's the guy who trains me and helps me do what I need to do. Now, admin exam cheat sheet. You might want to get that. I already have it. It gives you a quick overview of everything you're going to need to know. And then Dave, of course, has the full complete courses that'll get you everything and anything you need to know. I'm going to pop on into my courses with Mr. Dave. And now that I've popped on in, I have my administrator certificate course. It is a big course. It has absolutely everything lined up. There's actually sub videos in there. Again, I'm going to preface what I've been doing, what I'm going to do. So I got like close to 60,000 points on Trailhead, which is quite a bit. So yeah, I've been doing it for a while. I don't want to pretend. I've already done all admins, including the advanced and certificates. Again, these are the standard admin certificates. We're going to kick off with admin. Now, in order to get a certified admin, to get a job, that's all you need. Me, I want to be a partner. So to be a partner, I need 2 certificates minimum. I've already consulted Mr. Dave Massey. Platform app builder is going to be number 2 because apparently 60-70% of what's in here. I want to get the admin, advanced, and analyst to go with it since that's kind of what I do for a living. So I'll be getting all 4 of these, but we're going to get this one in the next 24 hours. At least that is the game plan. I have gone and reviewed everything in detail. The interactive practice exams is really where I'm going to play it, but I have reviewed all of this in the past. So I don't want to pretend like I'm doing this from scratch and just wonderful. And of course, I'm going to kick it off step 1 with a practice exam just to see where I'm at. I mean, hey, if I'm nailing it, I'm just going to skip everything. But I assume there'll be a few things I need to brush up on. Then I am going to step 2 blast through this course. Then I'm going to take my notes. Then I'm going to review the cheat sheet that Dave has. Then I'm going to redo this again. And assuming I'm nailing it, I am literally going to book later today or tomorrow my exam, go in and do it. And that is the protocol for getting this first Salesforce certificate. I will pop in and out with a couple videos every hour or 2 as I go along this journey. And we are back, kicking back in a t-shirt today because I'm chillin' mode. Okay, did the quick exam. As you can see, not wonderful, but hey, it's still a pass. Not bad out of the gate. I already reviewed some of the stuff I got wrong. Admittedly, 50%. Hey, I'm just going to put this down to me doing bad processes, and Salesforce are like, no, you're not supposed to do with roles. You're supposed to create sharing rules. It's like, okay, so I'll do it your way. And then 1 or 2 of them, in all fairness, was just me not paying attention because I'm blasting on so fast. I'm just giving people an idea of where I'm at. This was a nice indication. Doesn't mean that I'm solid just yet. It means I need to brush up on quite a few things. That is kind of comical because on most of my accounts, I just give half the guys admin access and I say, knock yourselves out. It's kind of funny. They only asked 2 questions though. So that is where we're at so far. Now we're on to Mr. Dave Massey's little cheat sheet. So I can sort of put everything in here, and this will give me a nice idea of where I need to focus. So 50% here, and it's worth 20%. So config and setup, to be fair, I really gotta check this out a little bit. I'm gonna just put this back to medium. We're not good. Objects, again, 20%. I got 75. I didn't get them all, so we're gonna have to focus on this a little bit. Sales marketing applications, I mean, I'm solid on that. I wasn't really concerned. It was like, hey, do you know record types and stuff? Sure. It's only worth 11 and 12%. So I'm just going to put these up to high. I can put less focus into them. 7%. I mean, what can I say? I'll have to do. Data analytics and management is worth 14%. 8.4. So I'm going to leave that. So I'm just going to mark these as the low players. So this is where I'm going to need to focus my effort and energy. This comes in second, and then third are there. So I know where I want to focus my energy over the next couple of hours as I'm prepping for this thing. Workflow process. I got one of them wrong, and I saw what I did wrong. It's a process question. I never really used process builder. I've only ever used flow, so fair enough. But it's worth 16%. So it is actually worth enough that I'm going to put this on the medium. So we're going to really focus on these two. When we're confident, we'll come back. I am going to blast through this cheat sheet. If you want to get the cheat sheet, just go to Get Force Certified and go get it. After I do the cheat sheet, I'm going to do another practice exam and see if anything has changed. Time for another update, kicking back in my t-shirt, taking it easy. My goodness, Dave, you got a lot of material here. I'm literally just getting up here, the user interface one, the one that I got the questions not so right on. Global action buttons and other things, and I just spent the last 2 hours going, wait a second, I can do this instead of flows and instead of macros. What the hell? Really should have read up on all that kind of stuff. So I'm getting the most I can out of this. So we've literally gone through 20 topics so far, and we've got another 22 to go in section 1. And we're going to have this section here, which is a little bit less. That's, what is it, 15, 6 and 8, 14, my bad. Followed by another 20, so 14, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Goodness, I need to pick up the pace here. But I am learning a lot, which is surprising. Actually, I feel like I could just go do it right now. But oh, I'm having a wonderful, wonderful time. Remember, I don't really care about the certificates. Only doing this just to get that partner so I can get better account management with the Salesforce people. But even me, I'm blasting out the exam. I mean, on my first go, it was like 70-something%. Yeah, great course. So this is the 2-minute update. I'm going to give you guys another update after I finished both these top sections. So I'm guessing another 2 hours to get there, and we will see where we're at. Okay, it's been a couple of hours since my last check-in. My goodness, Mr. Dave Massey, this is a lot of stuff, but I'm having fun. Look at all these notes. It's not anything I didn't know per se, but it's things, wait, I forgot about that. So anyway, I've been adding things. I even opened up my workbook up the top, putting lots of good stuff in. So we have gone through the first section and the second section. That's 40% of the exam. We're basically halfway through it now at this point. I'm going to blast through the other 50% after I take a break and grab a bite. And then once I've completed all of that, yeah, I'm just going to do a couple of practice exams, and then I presume book the exam, pass the exam, and we're off to the races and having fun. This is just another little check-in. I will see you when I'm done with this. And we are, what, 24 hours or so after this journey started, and we are done with this part. Mr. Dave Massey, get Force certified. I got a new t-shirt on. It's another day. Okay, that course is finished, and I got a whole page of notes from doing that. You've seen that I'm someone who's been using Salesforce for quite a while. Now the question is, can I use it their way, the way they want? It's kind of like passing your driver's test. You may know how to drive a car, but you drive like that in your test, you're going to fail. Can you do it their way? Having a quick look here, what did I get out of Mr. Dave Massey's Get Force Certified Admin course that I didn't already know? Global action buttons, global, yeah. I mean, I use them, I'm aware of them, but we're relying on flows so much, I kind of forgot, wait a second, I can just put a global action button instead of having to create a screen flow. So little things like that that I kind of forgot. Products, quotes, price books, it's all exciting stuff. Lookup relationships, master detail, and roll-ups. It was nice to get a refresher on that because I don't really use enough roll-ups. I've been creating formula fields like an idiot. But yeah, so I took some notes on that. Relationships, hierarchical relationships I knew. Master detail can't exist without master record. Just getting it into my head again. The hierarchy of sharing, I kind of knew. Multi-user, in-app guidance, audit trail, login hours, some of the numbers like users, multi-users, how many can you set? When do you need to bring in data loader? Little things like that. I had to, well, I just didn't know them. Verification, setting. When do we use the profile? That is to access objects, object permissions, creed, reports, dashboards, folders. The hierarchy there was nice to get a refresher. Object access, record access, field level. I think I need to refresh that a little bit. The storage, big files, data import wizard, data loader 50K 5 million, record ID 15 characters or 18 report snapshots, folders, dashboards. Yep, and then the last thing I put in a little box that I genuinely got. I don't think, although I could be wrong, the reports. So I am so used to using dashboards for my clients that I almost forgot like half the functionality of reports. Like I'm creating on a report a row level formula when you're only allowed to do one of them, so it's kind of limiting me. And I totally forgot about buckets. Like, Keith, you've got 5 buckets on a report. And I just remember when Dave was going through some of this, like the summary formulas and the buckets and then the conditional formatting and putting all of that together. I'm like, you know that emoji? You know the one where it's like they're getting hit over the head? Kind of felt like that. So I will admit, the whole report section, I was just like, how did I not know this? Report charts. On a report, I have a chart and I want to change the chart. Yes, I can delve in and see what's going on, but I was editing and duplicating the chart with most of my people. And yeah, I forgot that there's like a button up there that you could just filter and just go beyond the filters without having to do anything. So I got to be honest, this was a lovely refresher. I got a few little notes that I can add into my practice. You can always learn something. Dave certainly knows his stuff. Now, that being said, so we finished this. That is my feedback from someone who knows exactly what they're doing on Salesforce, but now has to do it the Salesforce way. Thank you, Dave, for my wonderful certificate. You and I need to speak about this, Dave. What the hell? You owe me a certificate, dude. Now, yesterday I blindly took the exam and I got 70%. Today I thought, great, let's take it and see what's what. 67. How the hell did we go down after me learning some stuff? I felt like I knew this stuff. Really strange, but this is the trick with sort of Salesforce stuff. The questions are confusing and they want you to do it their way. Nothing is 0%. Like, this looks a lot better than yesterday, I have to say. 80s and 100s and 50s and 60s and 70s, 50s. Like, nothing is below 50% here, which is nice. So again, I kind of expected to see that higher. productivity, collab. I mean, there's a big difference from yesterday. And then 83, 53. So these are the sections that I'm kind of like, what the hell? But let's have a quick look. Like, I had a look at the first question, and apparently I got this wrong. What should a system administrator do to organize the fields available on a report? Well, just edit the report. What's the problem? You just move the fields around. You're like, no, you have to create a custom report type. Well, if you would have phrased the question, what does a system administrator have to do so that when you open up a new report, the fields are laid out in a particular way? Well, yeah, you create a custom report type. It's the language that's catching me out. Again, question 2. Marketing team is asking you to provide branding and messaging for emails. Again, I chose C and D, case escalation notifications. There are case escalation notifications. Support reps send email. It's like, oh, I don't know. Number 3, you see, it didn't start off for me well. Hybrid sharing model. Okay, I said D. Account owner privileges. I mean, I'm kind of surprised here. Once you're an account, that is the parent. The parent gets access to the child. Select edit all associated contacts in the role hierarchy. Again, it's just doing it their way as opposed to what I know to be true, which I know doesn't make sense, but like the org-wide sharing access. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong here, but org-wide sharing access parent controls permissions for the child. You own the parent. What am I missing here? I mean, there was no option to just make sure that the contact is sharing rules related to parents. That was actually the answer. But you know, 4. 2 options here. Yeah. Oh, I mean, why is opportunity update reminders like that is a thing that will do the job? You know, okay, that kind of makes sense. You know, just communicate, like text message them, tell them what's what. Never mind. Then finally, we got some correct. You know, service and support. You know, select 2 options. What did I choose? A and D. Case escalation rule. What's wrong with that? Administrators configure predefined case teams. I would have actually done it this way. This is what I'm trying to say. This is yeah. It's all the stuff like I actually know. Launch the flow from the utility bar in the console. Now this one confuses me because I didn't think we had access to the utility bar in a console. But hey, that's what they say. That's what it is. What are 2 initial submission actions? I chose A. A task can be assigned to a task can. The value of the field, okay, fair enough. The approval process, I need to go through that again. Look, you can get the idea. I kind of knew the stuff, but you got to know it their way is the bottom line. So I actually had this open. I was ready. I was like, perfect. We're rock and rolling. But again, it's not enough to know the stuff. You got to know it their way. So I am not going to schedule my certificate today. I am going to go and do Mr. Dave Massey's collection of certified exam papers. I'm going to do it a few times and then see how I'm feeling. So I'll give you another update when that's done and I feel more confident and ready to do this thing because I'm only doing it once. And we have another update, and I'm in a white t-shirt today. Yeah, I kind of took a day off yesterday, and never mind. Let's get back to it. Okay, as you can see, we're making, according to this, absolutely no progress at all. This is my 3rd time taking this. I got like 70, what, 74, 70 something. Then it went down to the 68%. Now it's at 70. Each is a pass, but I was kind of hoping to see like 80%. The questions out of this thing make absolutely no sense to me. Like, they're asked in such a complicated way. I'm sitting to myself saying, "What the hell are they talking about?" Now, Mr. Dave Massey, I went through all of Dave's courses. I went through all of Dave's questions, the mock exams, everything. And I literally just did it, 20 minutes ago? 98%. So I got 1 all. So I'm learning something. Okay, I guess I wasn't paying attention here. Case assignment rules. I'm sorry, Dave. What can I say? I made one mistake because I wasn't focusing. Then I went to do this, and this has just pissed me off. Now, what I will say is that if you look across the percentages across the board, everything is above 50%. Like, there's none of this 33% that we were getting at the beginning. So, okay, we're making progress, but that's a pretty crappy, result. Let's have a little look down. You'll see some of these questions. Okay, look at it. Containers use a hybrid sharing model where accounts and contacts read only opportunities. Cases are private account executives do all the some contacts owned by. Like, why can't they just ask me a simple goddamn question? I think I put down D, create a sharing rule. What the hell is wrong with the sharing rule? There's a no, 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 no. Just select, edit all the associated contacts in the role hierarchy. Okay, role hierarchy is great, but what's wrong with the sharing rule in org-wide sharing? Like, that is what I would do, put it in a public group. Let's have a look at some more. Uses data from the grand total of customer report to create their dashboard. What are two things to you? I didn't actually understand what they were talking about. So a gauge and a metric uses data from the grand total. So, okay, a gauge is a grand total piece of data, and a metric is a grand total piece of data. Like, I can sort of work it out now that I'm seeing the answers in the questions, but why would they ask me such a complicated question? Dave, I'm nervous because, like, look at this. I'm literally, all I got left to do is do the exam. And I know I've passed it 3 times on the assessment, but I haven't passed it by enough to be complicated. Confident. I'm even mixing up my words here. An administrator needs to configure page layouts, record types, opportunities so they can do with these. Yeah, I didn't actually read the question here. What's wrong with this? Oh, I did get it correct. Okay, you see, I'm not even looking at the right question. New approval process. I don't test well. I like doing things, I just don't like being tested on them. New approval process is being adopted. After the opportunity has been approved, the contract is sent to the customer. How can the administrator implement this? I chose D. I mean, you could just create a flow. I don't see I don't see, I mean, what about CPQ? Excuse me, it is native to CPQ. A flow is good. Again, it's I don't like this because they're not asking me what you do in the real world. They're just asking me what is it that they want you to do. Install an app. Dave, this question was not in your mock exam. A lot of these questions they're phrased so differently. So you can get an app. Okay, you can get a signing app. Great, now I got it. System administrator workflow rule. We don't use workflow rules anymore. We use flow now. This is outdated. To assign the tasks, support managers when the role. The case owner's getting pissed. So what should you do? Make sure there is only one user in the role. I mean, this would have done the job as well, but okay. It's oh. Universal Containers want to apply potential customers to submit a case, technical inquiries. They do not have the resources to do it. So add a link to a specific case, email to case. Yeah, probably should have got that right. C and D. Implement Lightning Partner. I mean, you could implement Lightning Partner Community. I sort of was toying between these. I was like, what's wrong with this? Hey, there you go. Get your answers. Oh, it's a perfectly good answer. C, I put down D. Create a workflow rule based on the opportunity. Create escalation. Escalation rules are fine. Sales executive universe wants to be notified when there is a high. I mean, again, you don't use workflow rules. Workflow rules are being retired. This is 2024, people. An escalation rule will do the same goddamn thing. Sales executive. Somebody wants to escalate it and then notify the sales exec based on criteria. What Create a workflow rule. This is the problem. They're asking me outdated questions. Which two related lists of role? Campaign contact roles. Yeah, because campaign members is only on accounts, leads, and one other thing, but it's not on ops. I probably should have known that. So I got a couple wrong that I can own up to. I think the question was so good. Yeah, I remember this one was pissing me off. They asked this question in such a complicated way, I didn't know what they were doing. I just assumed it was one of the criteria based, so I put down C, criteria, profile permissions. Again, these questions, there's no point in trying to learn them for me because the question is so goddamn complicated. I can't understand the question. I'm not even going to read it. Two business groups. Two page layouts. I mean, I have to argue this is incorrect. It is incorrect. Bottom line, from my perspective, it's incorrect. Because if you look at Dave's mock full exams, you will see that he says it multiple times that the two primary things are going to be the record type and process. I put down B and D. Yeah, need process. I'm sticking with that answer. Why would I do a page layout? Both opportunities, but it's difficult to required. Sorry, Dave, but you're giving me different answers. Hang on, I'm going to pause this and find it. Now, there we go, Mr. Dave. You can answer me back on this one. Create a record type for each customer and create a sales process for each type of sale. Here's my page layout. That ain't one of your answers, dude. When I have to choose two, when I have to choose three, that's option number 3. Sells to two different kinds of people. Sales process is followed depending. What can the Salesforce admin do to make sure that they follow the correct sales process? Let's look at the exam here for a moment, shall we? Two business groups. Okay, both groups are using opportunities. Wonderful. Different fields are required, but 2 ways can the administrator meet the requirements. Now you're saying 2 page layouts, and don't worry about the lead process. Again, record type, sales process. I mean, unless you're just trying to catch me out with the phrase lead process, incorrect lead processes are used before opportunity. So, okay, lead process versus sales process. Like it's like they're using every dyslexic, deceptive technique to catch you out. I got to be honest, there's a reason I didn't like school as a child. So I'm laughing here while I'm watching and editing this thing. And again, it's all over now, but I just had to leave all of this in. If you go back to the question, in Dave's question, he was asking about business processes. In their question, the key phrase was different fields. In other words, yes, they literally used every dyslexic little gimmick to catch me out because they had business processes in the question, and that's what my eyes and mind were focused on. And I just didn't see that little phrase, different fields, because of course, how do we provide different fields to people? Well, we use different page layouts. It's so much fun watching back at this. Anyway, I just wanted to actually leave this in because in the moment, we're so sure that we're correct, like we're focused. And then afterwards, looking at it, it's like, you missed this word. You missed that word. What an experience. There's a reason guys like me don't like corporate people. We don't like corporate, and it's this. It's like they're using every deceptive academic, intellectual. I don't know. I'm literally going to take a little break. I'm going to do the exam shortly. I'm just going to go and get my 70-80%, but it's just, why are they making it so difficult for a guy like me? This is what I don't get. Like, I know this stuff. So what? Now you're doing a reading comprehension test on me? So, Dave, I loved your course. I know I've bitched a little bit about you, but I love your course because it gave me everything that I needed to get. I'm just sort of curious to why Salesforce are using deceptive techniques in order to catch me out instead of just testing, hey, do you know the stuff or not? Which I do. So, anyway, look, there's an update. Let's see if I'm going to pass or fail this thing because that's the next part of the video. And I think that could safely conclude this first part of me getting my Salesforce certification. I passed it. I really feel sick. I feel like puking. I know I should be celebrating. Dave, I got a bone to pick with you. Now you're going to say, hang on a sec, Keith. You took my course, you went through it from start to finish, then you casually went in and passed your Salesforce exam. I get that's what you're going to say to me, and to be fair, you're not wrong, dude. But it's like every goddamn question that came up was nothing like your questions. So I'm just going to be fair about this. If you know what you're doing on Salesforce, you're probably going to fail this exam. It's not about knowing what you're doing. It's about knowing how they want you to do it. And while Get Force Certified will get you to the exam, just a word of caution, this is more a comprehension, like an English reading comprehension test than a Salesforce test. And I actually sent them that in their feedback. I'm like, guys, why can't you just ask me a question? Now, what I did like about it is that there's a section to the right for notes. So literally, I was copying the question, dissecting it to say, that's what you're asking me. So I had to do that with quite a few questions. But you know something? I'm trying to give a fair summary because my job isn't really getting Salesforce admin. I'm looking to get certified partner, which means I need to do this again with another goddamn test. At the same time, I'm going through the process. You've seen what I've done. Technically, this is like 24 hours of stuffs. Also, a lot of the questions I was able to dissect, and I was like, hang on a second. How can it be the importer to export things? Like there's like stupid shit in there that's just there to catch you out. Ultimately, I'll probably be happy and celebrating in around 20-30 minutes. I'm just feeling pretty sick right now because that was a horrible, horrible exam, like with a capital HPT. That doesn't make sense, which shows you how I'm feeling. Unfortunately, we're going to have to do this process entirely all over again for the manager, which Dave has basically told me is next. I was going to do the advanced version, Salesforce Admin Advanced. Maybe I'll do them both. Who knows? But this video, this little 2-3 minute update is rock and roll and done. I can admit what I want, but the reality is this. I started with a Salesforce practice exam. Passed. Then I went and I did Dave's course, which took me basically 2 days to do his course. And I went through all of his mock exams and I did his mock exams twice over. And my final result was 98%. Then I went back to work. Then I enjoyed the weekend. Then I went to work because, I still sell and, work with clients. And then today I had a little break in the day and I just thought, to hell with this. So I just went up, launched the Salesforce thing, and I said, let's just do this thing quickly. And again, passed. Those results are kind of okay with me. Config and setup. I mean, come on, we should have done better. Workflow process automation. I mean, it's flows. There are no workflow. Anyway, we're done. We're past. This is one behind us. And as you can see, I took 64 minutes. So I took an hour. Like I had a whole 30 minutes left. I just didn't bother using it. You don't need it. And this is me dissecting crazy questions that are like 3 sentences long. And I'm like, why didn't you just say, what is the correct process for this? This is all you had to say, Salesforce. And I'd have given you the answer. But no, you had to confuse the hell out of me. Okay, this is Keith, Coach K. First section of this experience. And I'll be back to you in a little bit as we prep the next exam. And it is me again. It's been a week since my last confession. I mean, update. Please forgive me. I'm in my t-shirt. I sell for a living. Don't forget that. Plus, I made some updates. We got the admin certification. I mean, that was fairly easy. I knew it was easy. And not only that, I had the best possible training from Mr. Dave Massey at GFC, Get Force Certified. Like, forget my last little rant. It was fairly easy and predictable, even though it was a pain in the ass to do. Now, we need to get another one. And the plan was to go ahead and get the app builder certification. So I went on to Trailhead because Dave Massey does not do the app builder certification. He doesn't have a course. I'm like, dude, what the hell? So I went on and I started playing with the trail here. I was just realizing that I never actually finished the trail, but yeah, past it, who cares? So we don't need that. Now it says 15 hours left. Okay. I already did about 5 or 6 hours of this straight away, like just after I got the admin. Now, the problem with these 15 hours is it's not a standard 15 hours per se. It is like super badges. Okay. Super badges. Now, if you don't know what a super badge is where you basically have to do one super badge, two super badge, three super badge, then a final super badge, which are massive projects which take about an hour each to pass. And then in order to even notice they're locked. You got to do this and I was like, that's not going to take 15 hours. That's going to take like 30, 40 hours to get through the whole thing. So I said to myself, look, there's got to be a better way. And most of all of this, we're talking about the shall we say, the functionality I really couldn't care about. The security functionality. And I work with SMBs, enterprise. Yeah, you guys need to worry about it. For me, profiles, permission sets, what's the problem? Multi-factor authentication, I usually switch off at my clients' requests. Like, this is where we play. So I spoke to Dave and we had a little chat and we decided, let's go for the Salesforce Sales Cloud consultant. Because technically that's what I am. I consult on Salesforce licenses. I mean, I do the build, but that qualifies as consultant. So I went through this. Now, this was about 20 hours. And you'll notice here it's 10,000 points versus if you look at the one that we had here, where's our app builder, this one's like 30,000. So 40,000, like it's a lot more condensed. Plus, this was exciting for me to learn. I mean, user adoption. Well, I bring new users constantly, sales performance strategies, rollout strategies. I have literally changed about 7 or 8 different things. Scopes. I mean, I knew about sandbox, but I still don't know how to use a sandbox, even though it's on this exam. But then there's a scope, not a scope, scoping. I forget what they're called. Anyway, I can take a snapshot of an org in literally 5 minutes and then open up a new org and boom, populate the exact same thing. I didn't know about that. I don't think Dave knew about that because I asked him and he didn't tell me about it. Again, this is so much fun watching. Because that's what I learned when I was doing the Sales Cloud consultancy. And I think the Sales Cloud consultancy people expected me to have already gone through the basics that you would have gone through in the app builder exam. Now, the time I'm speaking this, like I've gone through all of that. Now I know what sandboxes are. Now I know the limitations of sandbox. I know Scratch. I thought I could do one thing, but yeah, sandboxes are limited to the same production. You can't just take them out and put them in something else. So this is where I think the real problem was looking back at it. I kind of jumped so far ahead that I was missing certain foundational things. And then when I saw you could do that, I misinterpreted what you could do. And my head was just like, wait, this, no, wait, that, no, wait. You got to have a foundation. It's like trying to ride a bicycle before you've really learned to walk properly. It's like, what are you doing? So, yeah, really funny. But just a little disclaimer, you cannot do half of the stuff that I'm ranting about right now. I know that now. I did not know that then. I'm like, dude, what the hell? And then if I'm going to do something like that, you can mass delete records, but there's a thing called truncating delete, which basically deletes everything in an object, which if you don't know what that means, it means you can do a whoosh, swap de-do from any org to another org, and then boom, clean it up all in seconds. So this was just incredible learning, and I'm so happy. But to be fair, I've literally invested about 15 hours. And again, I know this says 15 hours. That is not 15 hours. That's about 40 hours. Okay. I don't care what this thing says. I saw the super badges. I know what they are. They take time. So I put about 15 hours in the last week, maybe a bit more, but probably about 15 hours just to sort of complete all of this, what I needed to do. And it was seriously exciting. So I thought to myself, let's get some additional training. And the is a company focused on force that got recommended to me. And everything here, as you can see, is reading. And we all know how easily I learn by reading, which is why I learned from videos before and didn't even bother with Trailhead. So my immediate concerns are like on maximum. I'm gonna struggle learning like this. And not only that, my audio helper doesn't work because they have it disabled. So I can literally copy paste or else just read the damn thing. Um, I mean, 42 pages multiply by, and I'm just calling this an average, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 42 multiplied by 5, multiply by, what is it, 7 sections? What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like, okay, 5. 42, call it 50, 8, 9, 10, 11, 19, 24, 24 times 50, 24x 50. So I got 1,200 pages to read. And I'm really starting to think to myself, somebody fucked up. So, again, the problem with this exam, I haven't gotten to the problem yet, is I just did a quick practice exam. Like, I haven't actually started doing it yet. I literally just, the shock is just hitting me now. And straight out of the gate, nothing, 50%, which, okay, we're not ready, but hey, I haven't really started learning for it. So fair enough. 50% is a good starting ground, just up at 20 more percent. And we're laughing. 46 minutes. Now, you can look at the questions here. Like up until question 30, I was doing okay, give or take on the first half. On average, that's 67%. And then, as you can see, just wrong, 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 wrong. Now, what makes this, why am I pausing and saying to myself, this may not have been the right move for me to make, and I'm not going to throw, a blame game around. Choose 3 answers. Choose 3 answers. Like a lot of these are choose 2 answers. Okay, we have a 1 answer, a 1 answer, a 1 answer, a 1 answer, 2 answers. Most of these questions are at least 50, 60% of them are choosing, like, you can see just wrong, wrong, wrong. A lot of these are choosing 3 answers, like a lot, especially the last 50%. Which means you can't just assume you have to know it inside and outside, because getting 2 out of 3 still means you got it wrong. And the answers don't actually make sense. Because remember, I told you it's not about the right way, it's about the Salesforce way. Same as the driving test. It's not about the right way to drive, it's about the way they want you to drive. There's a few different ways we can look at this. Ultimately, it's a challenge that somebody advised me to go on, so I'm going to complete this. So over the next 2 to 3 updates, we are going to pass this exam with no excuses whatsoever. If I was advising anybody else to do this, my advice to them would be to go through the sales consultancy path, because there's so much to learn and it's just amazing, amazing content that's really going to help you if you are going to build a sales consultancy agency. Is the exam the smartest exam to get a quick second exam to get your partner license? 100%, 1000%, absolutely not. No, zero, no chance, nada, don't do it. It's a disaster zone. Unless, of course, you enjoy and can learn reading a few thousand pages. Other than that, I'm in some big, big trouble here. I don't back down because that's not my style. Mr. Dave Massey, this is a red mark against your name for advising me to take the exam. I am so grateful that you advised me to study for the exam, because what I learned, I've already spoken to you, buddy. I changed a few things in my business, so I'm thrilled with it. But this exam is one of the more problematic exams I've actually seen in the Salesforce ecosystem just because of the nature of it. It's so theoretical, and the theoretical stuff is mostly based on forecasting permission sets, and the permission sets they're not standard permission sets. It's based on account team selling permission sets and roll-ups permission sets and all the things that are wonderful for enterprise companies, but I work in SMBs, so I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm going on a long rant of complaining, which is not good. But, I may as well level with you all just how fucked I am, considering the trajectory Dave Massey has just put me on. Dude, what in God's name were you thinking? And Salesforce, this is a disastrous exam for a normal human being. Wonderful for an academic. But for a real life person who actually wants to operate in this world, this is a horrible exam. You won't hear me saying anything different. I'm going to get this thing behind me, and I will never, ever advise anyone to take this exam. I will advise them to do the trailhead because it was really good. But other than that, I am pretty pissed off right now. And it has been about 2 hours since that wonderful rant, and I'm already feeling better with myself. Let me give you guys a business lesson to someone who's gone through the process. When things aren't working, you've heard, I'm sure, the phrase, assess and reevaluate. These things come up in business when things are happening and they're not quite working out. Sometimes you push through it, sometimes just stop, think it all through, reassess, come up with the new plan or adjust your trajectory, adjust your plan, and go in a different direction. I decided to just take a quick practice exam on the app builder, and straight out of the gate, no testing, no training, no learning, no nothing, 73%, pass rate 65. Again, this is practice, but I mean, looking at this, everything's pretty high. I mean, my user interface, okay, fair enough. I mean, they're not really showing me what I did wrong. They're just saying this is wrong. I mean, so obviously it's recently view items because this question was about support, so it couldn't be the sales console. Maybe it is. I'll go through this in a bit. Creating an object. Okay, so we got a couple wrong at the beginning. New notification type. So custom notification, like a few little things. Goodness, I got a lot wrong at the beginning. I didn't even... these are all the wrong ones. 11, external. So if it's not external, indirect can be formed between parent. Okay. Yeah, this was a third. I think we know the answer just from looking at it. Question 19. Both parent and child, job status. You've selected job, cross object. Yeah, fair enough. Roll up activities, okie dokie. The only thing that was bothering me about this was that I don't know anything about sandboxes. And I don't know anything about the dev side of things, and yeah, I got all the dev side of things wrong. I'm just looking at them here. It's all the stuff I just didn't know. I still passed. Administrator can go one-time workplace setup. Troubleshooting. From here, go to search. Time-based workflow. What do you know? Monitor time-based workflow. See, now I know. Object specifics, 59. Salesforce, yeah, this was just a big question. I was just like, to hell with it. Okay, most restrictive, so only one is going to happen. The field will be required. Okay. They will not see the field. The field will be read-only. The most important takeaway from this scenario is to remember that the most field asks of the two will always apply. In our example, read-only. When a user edit, the field will be read-only. Okay, so that's the answer. So I can remember that. Yeah. So yeah. Again, I want to get the other one, but remember the goal. Or PM, I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. It isn't the process I'm concerning myself with, it's the result. And the result is just to get the damn license as fast as possible, partner license. And in order to do that, this seems like a shot to nothing. See what I can do. It's going to be a long time to actually get this stuff done. If I do the trail, I'll see if these guys have an exam. But I am going to make this change. I will get the Salesforce Cloud certification, consultant certification over the next month or two. Like, I'm not going to quit on it, but just to do this quick, because, I got to work. I got to sell. Yeah. Gravy, baby. I feel a little bit better. Okay, that's Keith signing out in a t-shirt. Let's see about the app builder. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have another update. This is one of those situations where you kind of have to admit, if only I knew beforehand. This is why we want to hire a consultant to guide us through the process. Who did I make a mistake? Okay. Last we left off, I had just logged on and checked out Focus on Force. This is what I was recommended. I don't have Dave Massey for this because he didn't do the course. And I went on and I had a look and I was just like, wait, holy crap. There's literally 1,200 slides. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how can I learn like this? This is no good. Then I just decided to go in Salesforce certified exam, sales consultant, practice exams. And I went ahead and I just did a practice exam and I got 50%. And I said to myself, I started panicking. I said, whoa, hang on a second, 50%? That's a disaster zone. I don't know this stuff. How am I going to learn this stuff? What I didn't realize is that Focus on Force is specifically difficult after reviewing lots of other things. And all I had to do was go through these few things 2 or 3 times, learn all the answers, go do the test and figure it out. I didn't really need to go in and learn all this stuff here. Now, I took a moment and I said to myself, you know what? I have no one to teach me how to use this. So I said, let's do the app builder instead. At least on the app builder, I know 50-60% off the top of my head. Whoa. Now, I am ready pretty much to do the app builder exam. I want to bring your attention to something here. If you look at this screen, Sales Cloud App Consultancy exam, 2 hours. So I just played with it for 2 hours, just figuring out how to use it in order to actually prepare myself for the app builder exam, which was a lot more technical than I realized. I just put 27 hours in like the past 5 days, 6 days. I don't even remember. My head is melted. I'm actually feeling confident now. If I get a good night's sleep and just rest my head, I can pass this thing with like no problem at all. So I'm going to do another few things. I mean, you can see here I've only gone through 52%. And if I go back, Salesforce Certified App Builder Exam, now these here are actually updatable. I've already filled them out, just the thing wasn't working. It's a really bad application. But you can see it's like double the amount of questions here as the other one, which I didn't really realize. Now, I didn't actually need or even bother getting the training because I know most of this stuff. At least I thought I did. There were 2 things that I didn't really know, which was app deployment, which is actually what was catching me out here. I didn't know. I mean, they're asking me about scoping rules and stuff, and I'm like, hey, what the hell is a sandbox? Is one of the few things I don't know. And the mobile application deployment, because I don't really use it that much. I just set it up basic. So I got my answers. This is the, no, it was in Business Logic. It was one of these. I can't remember. Anyway, I nailed it. 100%, 100%. This one is just, there was a glitch, but it wouldn't update them. Anyway, point in play is there's a really, really good lesson here. First lesson. In order to learn something, you have to go through the process. You have to learn. You have to go through that journey. Okay? After going through the journey 4 or 5 different ways now, I am now an expert in the journey and I can give that feedback back to you. Of course, the real lesson here is go find a guide who's walked the journey before to advise you. And I probably should have just picked up the phone and spoken to Dave a little bit more instead of just saying to him, or Dave, You owe me an apology because I told you to hell with this. I'm going back to the app. You could have said to me, no, 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 Keith, whoa, you don't know what you're doing. Trust me, just go through the exam questions. You'll be fine. He sort of said, yeah, I know. 1,200 slides is a little insane. Win, lose, draw. Maybe I would have gone through the other questions again and again and again and not known it. Now I'm going to go through the other questions and get the other exam. After this, we're going to have a compare contrast, but remember the or PM. I'm a good Tony Robbins fan. What is the result? The result is not to get multiple exams. The result is just to get Salesforce to give me that wonderful partner certification. So I only need one badge. I've come this far in the journey. The app builder, which, to be fair, if I want to consider myself a real Salesforce person, there's actually a lot here that I didn't know that I thought I knew. I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't really know. The level of technical expertise, I'm a little bit surprised because this one has no prerequisites. It's just like, yeah, you can do it whenever. I was kind of shocked just how much depth of detail and technicality is required for this. It really pushed me. And I've been selling, technical solutions for a long time. Like, I know a lot of Apex, I know a little bit of HTTP, I know the basics, but this blew me away. They go into so many different variables. I'm halfway through this. I had to stop because I got 3-4 in a row wrong just because I can't focus on the question. My head is melted. My goal is later on today, I'm going to go through these practice exams, win, lose, or draw. Tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up. First thing we're going to do is have a coffee. Second thing we're going to do is have a coffee. And third thing we're going to do is just hop on the computer, sit the exam, win, lose, draw, fail. I'm confident enough. This is more of a comprehension scenario for me at this point. So as long as I can dissect the question properly and really, really understand it, we're going to be absolutely fine. So I'm just going to do these. Each one of these is about 40 minutes for me. I mean, I know you have an hour and a half, but it's about 40 minutes for me. It is a 65% pass. So as long as I can do these, pass them confidently, then I have a good enough that I can just rock and roll in and do it. So this is my journey. Every journey we go on, for the love of God, get a guide. Dave, why are you so busy right now? You need to be by my side or else, tell me to pay you more money. Can't believe you left me on my own for this. Dude. But I have to admit, all things considered, that I was going to struggle without this. I mean, I needed to know some of the stuff here that I just didn't know. So for my own knowledge, this one was actually required. And we're going to get this. We're going to take a little break. And maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll quickly sit the Sales Cloud. And I want to get the business. There's a business one as well. Anyway, that's me. Head's melted. If you want to pass one of these things, just level with yourself. 40, 50 hours is what's required, because this doesn't include the 10 hours or so I put into the trailhead, because I got a lot of the trailhead stuff done, and then I just said to hell with the badges. Yeah, I'm not just going to sit here and pretend it's all wonderful. This took me about 50 hours, the exam. To get admin certified was about 10, 15 hours max. Thank you, Dave. I know you had a good course that made life easy for me, but I'm going to call a spade here. This was a very, very difficult journey. And I really hope that my next recording to finish off this series will be me saying, hey, I passed. Otherwise, it'll be me all sad saying, what? How in God's name? But I'm pretty confident. I believe. So that's it. Coach K, struggling. We all got to struggle to get through our journeys in life. But we'll get there as long as we don't quit. Speak to you tomorrow. So it's the next day and I don't look happy. And that's because I'm in the middle of my Salesforce app builder exam and I had a technical problem and I don't know what the technical problem was, just apparently my camera stopped. So I got this big screen, hey, we've stopped your exam. I'm like, wait, whoa, what's going on? And then they fixed it and then they put me back and then 10 minutes later, whoa, we're stopping your exam. It's like, what's going on here? I was halfway through the damn thing. Then they left me on a screen for about 15 minutes for their big technical support, who basically said, "Hey, you gotta leave." I said, "What do you mean I gotta leave? You gotta leave, go talk to technical support." "What are you talking about? I just got here. I'm having heart attack, palpitation. I don't know what's going on if the stress wasn't enough." The questions were really hard on the exam. Like, this really isn't helping. Action required. Then I spoke to the guy. Here's the transcript. We spoke, we tested everything. I'm hoping everything is good. They rescheduled me. My per heart, my nerves. It's like, dude, dude. After all of this, I swear to God, if the screen comes up and it doesn't say pass, I'm going to be like, what the hell? It's been a very, very long day, long exam, long everything. But I'm excited because I believe there's no problem here. We're all gravy, baby. The idea is that when life throws curveballs, just face them. Congratulations, you're not an employee, you're an employer now. You're a business owner. And as most of the big guys say, your job is just to solve anonymous challenges and problems that come at you out of nowhere. So, quick 2-minute update, and let's go finish this damn exam. It should be ready for me now. Yeah, I can access 10 minutes before. So in 1 minute, it's going to flash and it's going to let me in. Okay, let's do this thing. And ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, will be the final part of this wonderful, wonderful journey that I've just gone on. You saw me in the last video. I'm like, dude. Yeah, I mean, the results aren't perfect. Like, to be fair, I passed by the skin of my teeth. I'll openly admit that. But you know what? A pass is a pass. If you look at the time, 103 minutes, 105. I went to the wire. That was a hard exam. Dave told me that was easier than the other one. I'm like, dude, it's not. Forgive me, I'm just stomach and this and that. But anyway, we have both certifications. That means I can finally get approved to be a Salesforce partner, get the top account managers that I wanted, and, continue doing what I do, which is setting up Salesforce for all my lovely startup people, teaching them how to sell in operation sales training. And once you got that ready, we can start going to recruitment and start scaling things up. So, this is Coach K, Keith Harrison, in a t-shirt, chilling out, getting a Salesforce certification. And my goodness me, that was a little tricky. Maybe because I'm supposed to spend 6 to 12 months doing it, and I did it in like a week and a half. Was it even a week and a half? I think it was the 8th, because that's when I made the transfer. 8 minus 14 is what? No, less. One, I had the kids on the weekend, so 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So that's why it was so difficult. 4 days. That was stupid. Keith, don't do that again. 4 days. Come on, man. Oh, it is what it is, guys. I didn't realize it was only 4 days. Anyway, have fun. Take care. Bye-bye. We are signing out, and look out for my other videos that are going to come, because I'm going to go get that cloud cert. Sales Cloud cert, but who cares about these certs? I actually know how to do this stuff, so that's the key. Okay, have fun. We are past. We are golden. Bye-bye. If you want to do it yourself, please spend more than 4 days doing it. Okay, I know that was supposed to be my last little video, but one more. Still in my t-shirt, still having fun. We filled out a little forum partner community. I filled out all my wonderful information, and now pending Salesforce approval. Well, I got the 2 goddamn exams back to back in like a month. So I'm expecting this to come on through. I'm going to edit this damn thing for you guys and put it online and let you all see it. But yeah, there we are. Partner Salesforce.com. I got my 2 credentials. I linked them into my Trailhead account, opened up my partner community, and sent it all off for partner approval. Thank you. Take care.